Hey there, everybody. So, Unit 8 is going to be all about circles. So, for us to be able to solve problems with circles, first we need to understand the vocabulary associated with circles and the parts of the circles. So, what is a circle? What makes a circle? The circle is the locus of points that are always equidistant from a given point. That means all the points that are the same distance from a certain point. What I'm talking about is all these points. There are an infinite number of points on this circle. That's the circle. The center of the circle, this given point, is called the center. That's the center right there. And so if I was to give this center a name, let's call it A, point A, we would know this as circle A. It would help if I could spell. So this is circle A because the point is at the center of it is at A, or you'll sometimes see a circle. You'll see somebody draw a circle with the center, and then they'll call it whatever that center is. So circle A and A. Okay. Now that distance that we are, let's come back to concentric circles. Scroll down. The distance that we are from the center is called the radius. A radius is a segment with one endpoint on the center of the circle and the other endpoint on the circle. So a radius is this length right there. That is my radius. Let me go. Boom, boom. Here we go. So this segment from the center to the edge is called my radius. Now I can draw an infinite number of radii into this circle, and every radius will be the same length. Every radius is the same length. Now, if I take a circle has another segment in it that's very important, it's called a diameter. A diameter is a segment that passes through the center of the circle and has endpoints on the circle. So if I draw in this segment right there, that segment is called a diameter. That segment is called the diameter. It is the longest length across the circle. A diameter is the longest length across the circle. So the longest length across a circle is called the diameter. Alrighty, and again, I can draw in many diameters. And every diameter is going to be the same length. So we can make them all the same color. So diameter is usually the letter D, and radius will be the letter R. So diameter is going to be D, and radius is R. So some formulas that we can say: a diameter is going to be 2 times the radius, and a radius is half of a diameter. And if we put our colors on here, we'll remember that the diameters are in purple and my radius is in green. So if I want to find the diameter, multiply the radius by 2. If I want to find the radius, cut the diameter in half. If I put 2 circles inside of each other, these are known as concentric circles. They're the circles that share the same center. So both of these could be called the same name. So like if I put it, let's say I call this B, I would have 2 circle B's. I would have circle B, and I'm going to say one circle B is similar to the other circle B. The 2 circles that are the same, well, they're not the same, they have the same center, they're both circle B because they have the same center. Another vocabulary term we need to know is a secant and a chord. So a secant is a line or a segment that crosses the circle twice. Here's what I need you to remember. Secants must extend outside of the circle. So a secant is going to be a line, a segment, or a ray that crosses the circle 2 times, and at least part of it goes outside the circle. Boom, that's a secant. So that is a secant right there. Boom. I could also do a secant like this. I could call a secant with one endpoint. I could even do one endpoint on the circle and extend it like that. There's another secant. Okay? Now the chord, the part that stays completely inside the circle is called a chord. That's a secant. Okay, now a chord is a segment with both endpoints on the circle. And it's not going to go through the center, because if it went through the center, it would be a diameter. So this segment is a chord. Please notice it does not go through the center and it does not exit the circle. That's a chord. This is a chord. You know, technically a diameter is a chord, but the best name for diameter is diameter. Those are chords. Chords are completely inside the circle. And this is at least partly outside. So a secant extends out of the circle, a chord stays completely inside the circle. We have another segment that's outside of a circle called a tangent line. So a tangent is a line or a segment or a ray that shares exactly with one point with a circle. It's a line or a segment or a ray that touches a circle exactly once. So this would be a tangent line. That line is tangent to my circle. It touches the circle once. Where it touches the circle is called a point of tangency. So my point of tangency is the one point where my tangent line touches the circle. There's my point of tangency. It touches the circle exactly once. All right. So if you have any questions, of course, that brings us to the end of the vocabulary I wanted to show you. If you have any questions, please ask. We'll be glad to fill them in. And then we're going to just jump right into the assignment. Patriots, we'll see you when we see you.